I'm Alli. I came out after 20 years of marriage, and I have 3 kids.
I'm Melisa, and I have 2 kids, and I came out at 37 after an 11-year marriage.
This podcast is about coming out later and the struggles and victories that come with it.
When coming out feels like the end of the world, but it's really just the beginning.
This is the Lesbian Chronicles. Welcome to the Lesbian Chronicles. We've got an audience in studio today. And by audience, I mean the button you press.
A button that we finally labeled. And yeah, I thought my handwriting was bad. But yours...
Mine's worse.
I mean, no. I guess we can at least read it.
You know what it is like somebody told me once, and I'm starting to think this is true, is first, my handwriting is horrible, like to the point that I can't even, like, I'll go back to read notes. I don't know what I put. But someone said when your brain, like, because I do think I have a little ADD, my brain works so fast that I am writing as fast as I'm thinking it.
Oh my God, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Because my handwriting is awful, and it's always been bad.
Right.
But to compare it, what it was in high school it was like legible.
Right.
And then I noticed when I was a reporter and I had to write really fast, it got awful.
That's what I'm saying.
And I haven't been able to go back.
I can't either. And I can't even hold my hand to do it. Even when I try to make it look good, it doesn't look good.
That is such a good point. Yeah. Like, cause I like have to focus even when I'm just writing my name. I just had to fill out like paperwork for the kids' school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're going to get this in the front office and think that like my
children did it. I know. I always think that. I can't even when I'm trying, or like I'll have to put Alli Vaccaro for like an email and I can't make it look like the right thing. So I'm like, they're never going to be able to get in touch with me.
You know, and
then I try to fix it and it looks worse.
I just sold my townhouse and I had to do the thing where you tell them where to wire the money.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm like writing the numbers of my bank account and I'm like, what if they think this 5 is a 3?
I know, exactly.
You know?
This is important.
To a totally different bank account because I fucked up my handwriting.
And if it's about money,
I know.
Like double check it.
I checked it so many times when they gave me the final form that had it actually printed out to make sure that it was correct.
It's
so
I was
like, this
annoying.
is going to be such a bitch if they send it to the wrong place.
Yeah, that's me with every form I do.
Yeah.
Or I'll give it to the kids and be like, can you do this for me? Just blame it on your fast-moving brain.
Okay, I like that excuse.
Even the other day at work, I was typing something and it kept like, it couldn't keep up. Like there was a lag with the keyboard. Like, do you ever have that where you type letters and they show up? But I'm like, I think it just can't even keep up with my typing. It can't even keep up with my brain.
I'm faster than computer.
I'm faster than the computer.
God.
Our IT guy was like,
That's
not
enough.
how
That's
it works.
not
what's happening right now.
But
I'm
I think
all right, whatever.
I really hate writing anything though. It's like embarrassing. But I've also heard that like, you know, gay handwriting, like,
oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, because I always wanted to write in like the cute little bubbly letters, like all the girls in school did. Like I had admired their handwriting, and I never could.
Interesting.
And I find it actually really hot when a girl has like girly handwriting.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
But do you think also it could be like I hold my pen in a weird way, and I do know now with my kids that early on they would like show them how to like you're supposed to hold the pen.
Am I holding it wrong?
Well, that's what I don't know. Like maybe we both learned wrong.
We've
no
got
one
a pen
stopped
here.
and told us.
Yeah,
I think you do it the right way.
Okay.
Yeah.
My brain's too fast.
Yeah, your brain's too fast. I guess it's just your brain's too fast.
How do you hold it?
Is that right?
I think that looks right.
It's a little chopsticky. But how can, if we're both doing it wrong, we don't know.
I know.
Like,
I'm like, what am I even supposed to be looking for?
That looks right.
I don't remember that day in school.
No, you were off that day.
I probably wasn't there. I missed a shit ton of school
really?
when I was a kid. Yeah.
Why?
I just didn't like it. And my mom would let me stay home, like, for whatever reason.
She didn't want to be alone.
I guess so. But I would sit at home and, like, watch The Price is Right and, like, Jerry Springer and all this stuff. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Mel
Sally,
Steiner.
Jesse, Raphael, Donahue.
Wait a minute. I remember Donahue. But why did your school, like, don't they count the days or something? They did.
Maybe. I never got in trouble for it.
Okay.
But I missed a shit ton of school.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time when I actually was sick around like second grade.
Okay.
And I think I just really enjoyed that time off of school that I would just kind of milk it as the years went on.
My parents never let me stay home.
Never?
Never. I had to be like throwing up horribly sick.
You know, I am kind of hard on my kids.
Yeah.
It's like very much like if you've got a fever, you can stay home. But other than that,
yeah.
No. Like occasionally I'll do like a mental health day, but
yeah,
you got to be in a pretty bad mood.
I know. Well, nowadays the school is so hard. It's like you can't miss. My kids are like scared to miss.
Like even with elementary school, it's like that. And I was looking at their report cards last year and I'm like, when did you even miss this many days?
Yeah.
Like I don't remember them. And sometimes I think they like get it wrong.
Yeah, that could be.
Like they were there that day.
Tatum's, when she, like once you're in high school where they go to school, there's not like a lot of, you can pretty much go to what you want to go to. And it's almost like college. Mm-hmm. So there would be lots of times I'd come home and she's home and I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And she would just be like, oh, I decided to do it from here or just leave.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a lot of freedom.
When I was in high school, let me tell you a little story. We really didn't have any freedom to leave campus. Even during the day to go get lunch, you could not do that.
Okay.
And one day my friend, he wanted a ride home from school. He was checking out. He needed a ride. And I'm like, okay, what's the big deal? He lives like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive him over to his house and I'm going to come right back.
Right.
And I come back. I park in my little parking space and I'm walking back to the building and our little SRO guy comes by on his golf cart.
SRO? What the hell is that?
Student Resource Officer.
Oh, excuse me.
Jeez. Don't you know the technical terms?
I guess I didn't know what an SRO was.
I mean, what do we call him? Lieutenant Dan or something like
yeah.
that. And he's like, do you want to ride? And I was like, no, I'm good. Like wanting to just be discreet, sneak into the school.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, come on. I'll give you right up to the front office so you can check in. And I'm like, fucking A.
He knew what you were doing.
He knew.
Yeah.
And so I get on the fucking golf cart and I go up there. And I'm waiting for him to like ditch me, you know, like get to the front.
You in.
And he walks me in. And I look at him and I go, I don't need to check in. I just left campus for 5 minutes and I came back. And he goes, I know, I saw you. And I was like, fucking cool. And so then I had to go to the administrator's office. They gave me detention.
Oh, you never did that again.
I was so irritated. They called my mom and I told they put my mom on speakerphone. And they're like, Melissa left campus. And she goes, so?
So? Wait, but why? 5 minutes? Who gives a shit?
No shit. Who gives a shit?
I guess here's why.
I should have made it worth it.
You got in an accident or something.
I guess so. But I'm like, I should have gone to like McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
Could've
if I'm going to
made it
get in
worth
trouble
it.
anyway.
You know?
Yeah, I'm not coming back.
Christ. But that was just the attitude my mom kind of had about school and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they called my mom so many times when I got in trouble and she would always just be like, okay.
Okay,
like, you're calling me because.
Is she bleeding?
Yeah. Like,
it's true.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, no, the kids' school is very do what you want.
Man. Well, and she's at like a private school, right? So
yeah.
It's not quite as.
Nobody's counting the days. But I just always would be like, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
And she would be like, yeah, I decided to stay home the second half of the day or
Isn't
something.
it going to be weird? Because she's not going to be there.
Oh my God, it's going to be so rough.
I'm so curious to see what plays out in your brain the next few months.
I'm going to be going there. I'm going to be so annoying for her. Like, I know that I'm going to be like, hey, listen, I'm in Manhattan.
I just happen to be in Manhattan.
I just happen to be here. Pop on over if you can.
Is she in the dorms or like an apartment?
Dorms. Everybody's in the dorms.
Oh, do they have to be?
They basically, NYU will give you housing as part of what, I mean, you pay for it, but it's like you get housing as long as they secure it for you, you have a place. But the minute you give up student housing, you're on your own to find a place. So you kind of, most people, I think he said 60% stay in.
I would
but
imagine.
But they're old hotels that they've converted to, or at least Tate's is.
I mean, I would imagine that's a lot easier though than finding a place.
And you want to be on camp, like right by campus. So it's a huge, the campus is kind of spread out around the city, but there's one specific area that's very, like most of her classes are.
Okay. Does it look like a college campus? Like where it's got like greenery? Like...
It does have some of that. It does a little, but it's definitely, you're in New York. Mm-hmm. Like there's high rises everywhere. It's not like where I went in Bloomington, Indiana.
Yeah. See, that's what I really liked about my campus is that it was like a lot of like, open.
Yeah. Expansive.
Like,
she has the school is on Washington Square Park, which is a big park in New York City. So, there's some of that. It's interesting. It's a different kind of vibe.
Does
obviously.
she have any friends that are also going?
She has a couple people that she knows that are going, but I wouldn't say any good friends. But her roommate looks to be great. Like, she's from Boston, I think.
Aren't you scared?
Scared for her safety?
Yeah.
I'm more scared in Atlanta for her safety.
Yeah.
I think this town is scarier.
You know, I can't remember if we've recorded since I got back from San Francisco, but that city's kind of scary.
I know.
I was really surprised. It's way different than the last time I was there.
Yeah.
Like literally everyone was like, don't go out after dark.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just there. I didn't feel that. But what I felt in San Francisco was like we couldn't find a drugstore because a lot of them had closed because of theft.
A lot of things were closed.
And I thought that was interesting that they would close like a CVS because of theft.
I also saw a fully nude man.
What?
Just walking down the street. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, God, I thought he was homeless at first. But then I'm like, he has on nice shoes. And I Googled, like, is nudity allowed? I almost Googled, like, naked man in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's going to give bad results.
Yeah.
But it is legal
What?
to be fully nude in San Francisco.
What?
As long as you are not, like, being lewd about it. Yeah.
I've never known that.
And he's just walking down the street. Like no big deal.
Dick hanging out.
And like confirmed gay.
Yeah,
again.
definitely. And once again, I get these little confirmations.
Middle of the day, too.
What the hell?
It was so bizarre.
Yeah.
And then there was another time. Marina and I were like sitting there eating dinner, and I had like a view out the window onto the street, and I literally see a guy like with his pants down around his ankles, and I think he was carrying a mic stand.
What the hell?
He's just like waddling down the street.
Where was I? I didn't see any of this.
I was like, Marina, please don't turn around right now. But there is a dude walking behind you with his pants down.
Oh my God. So. Yeah, no, we didn't see any of that. I wonder if I was so busy because I had all the kids that I wasn't even noticing all these freak shows.
Yeah, what part of town were you in?
Where were we? We were by the wharf. We were one of the places you were. We were.
Yeah, we were kind of like near. What was it? Like actually, it was really close to like all the really nice like department stores and stuff. So, but even so, we were seeing
naked people. Wow. Yeah.
Sometimes
I still love it there, but I just was surprised at how much is closed, and like I couldn't believe why is theft affecting them so much more than like Atlanta?
But it's still a beautiful place to visit.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
Like,
on the water,
you can go
please.
and just spend the day walking around.
Yeah.
And
you're close to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even just like to get in your car, if you drive an hour. I mean, there's so many beautiful places there.
Yeah. And we drove around a little bit, went up to like Bodega Bay.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I don't feel scared about her. I do. I mean, a little bit, but more here. Like if she's walking home from work, I'm always like, text me right when you walk out. Mm-hmm. But that's all going to stop, because I'm not going to text her every night at college saying that. I probably will, actually.
I was going to say. Yeah. You're going to talk to her every day.
Every day, for sure, a little bit. But it won't be the same.
Yeah.
It's a season of life, I guess.
I know.
It's horrible.
And it's scary, like, because Kaylin's about to turn 10.
Yeah. Double digit.
And I'm like, that means we only have about 8-9 years.
I know. And it flies by. If you think
the past 10 years just flew by.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like I just had a baby.
That's what I'm saying. Or just think about like how long ago you came out and double it and she's gone.
Yeah.
It's like that feels this time has flown by. Mm-hmm. And it just gets faster and faster.
I mean, she was 5 when I started going through all this.
Yeah.
So.
And look at it. It's that's what I'm saying. It's just like you don't realize. I mean, I always am like, thank God I have more kids. But yeah.
I know. I almost stopped at that one.
I know. Thank God you didn't.
Yeah. So I'm glad I have my little baby.
Yeah.
Who still acts like a baby.
It's funny too, because like we'll go out with couples that they're empty nesters and they're like they love it. They're like, oh, we couldn't wait to be. And Maria and I are kind of like, we aren't there yet.
I think that's just kind of like what we were talking to Jamie about. It's like because we've essentially given up time with our kids.
Yeah.
It's like that time is so much more precious. Like once I am an empty nester, I don't think I'm going to be like that incredibly excited about it.
No, I don't either.
Like, yeah, I'll be able to travel a little bit more, but I also am going to like want them to come with me.
I know. That's how I feel.
Like they'll be grown up enough to come with and
Definitely.
not bitch about anything.
I know. We are trying to like create tradition around like every year we do this.
Yeah.
Or so that there is like this feeling of they can't leave us ever.
They can't leave ever.
Exactly.
I got to do fun shit.
I tell them all the time now. I'm like, don't you dare marry somebody who, like I'd say, I want you to marry an orphan.
An orphan.
You will marry an orphan or their parents, like, I don't know why they left, but now they need us.
Oh my God.
And there is no family to compete with. Like at one point, Tatum was kind of crushing on this friend of mine's son. And she was like, I'm going to end up with him. Like, we're childhood friends. I'm like, no, you're not. That mom is way too much competition. She's a dear friend of mine. She's way too much competition.
Way too cool.
She's way too cool. She does way too many fun trips. Like, she is not going to be the other mother-in-law, I assure you.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That is very much how my mom, I feel like,
really
operates.
Yeah.
Like, just in the sense of like, she doesn't like competition with other grandparents.
No, I don't either. Please, we're having these babies here.
And oh wait, for a second I was thinking my mom is also a Leo, but she's not.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you've got a birthday coming up.
I know, right? A couple days.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Is that why you're going on a trip?
That is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this and to do one last trip with Tatum.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you're going to Tucson.
Yeah, we're going to Tucson and we're going to go to a place that's like a wellness retreat place.
Uh-huh.
And just like be girls chilling.
Is it all girls going?
It's just Tate, Maria, and I.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to read and relax and do spa stuff.
What are you going to read?
I'm reading. I just got Steve Jobs' book.
Okay.
I saw some, like, I don't know, there was like a podcast about it, but there were so many nuggets in it that I was like, oh my God, this is fascinating. Mm-hmm. So Maria like heard me talking about it and she got it. So I'm going to dive into it.
I was kicking myself in Belize because I didn't have a book.
Really?
And I was like the only one that didn't bring a book.
Worst.
And I'm sitting there and I don't have Wi-Fi by the pool. And I'm like, crap, what do I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
I went through my photos and was like deleting shit.
Okay. I could have given you so many great books.
I know.
Are you a fiction reader or a...
I'm more so, like, I want to, like, learn something.
Yeah, me too.
And I haven't read a book, like, full book in years.
Okay.
Like, probably Hunger Games or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a minute. Like, now I just do, like, audibles and stuff.
Yeah, I do too. But I also like to, like, lay by a pool and, like, flip through the pages.
Yeah.
I love books where I like learn something, to your point. I love biographies. I love like the Steve Jobs book. I know I'm going to love. But I also I read a fiction book that I ended up getting so sucked into. It's called Where the Crawdads Sing.
Oh yeah. Marina
loved that
read
book.
that. Now there's a movie.
A movie coming out. I couldn't wait to get down by the pool to read it. Like I literally, it was like the last fiction I remember, like I thoroughly enjoyed.
Maybe I should read that.
You should read it.
Because we're going to be going to Croatia.
Take
and
this
I
book.
probably need a book.
Yeah. Does she still have it?
Probably.
Okay.
I hope.
Yeah. Take that one.
I'm thinking about it. Well, yeah, she does.
You'll get lost
All
in
of my
that book.
stuff is currently in pods right now. So
Oh God, I know.
I don't know where anything is.
Yeah, but it'll be fun setting up your new place.
It will be. But for the moment, I'm living in a 1-bedroom with both my kids,
Oh my God.
Marina's dog, and Marina.
Oh my God.
And it's
It's a
cramped.
lot. Yeah.
And driving 35 minutes to drop the kids off to school. That was the first this morning.
And driving 45 minutes to podcast.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but, it's interesting, though, like to think about kind of the evolution of how things have played out.
Right.
And like when I was getting a divorce, it's just kind of like, what am I even doing right now?
Yeah.
And I moved into a rental, and to think like now I've moved, I think this will be my third move since I've divorced.
I know. Right.
And when I went to that rental, I remember thinking like, I have no idea what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah.
Like, will I ever own anything again?
Yeah.
Will I be in this rental house until the kids graduate?
Yep.
And it's just so interesting to see how things like evolve and change.
Yeah.
And even though like it's scary at that time and I don't have a plan, that it's like, it works itself out.
It does. Everyone I know, it does.
How many times have you moved?
A lot.
Like since your divorce?
Since my divorce. Are we counting the original house that I was in?
Let's count the one that you moved out of, your marital home, as I call it.
So I moved to the 1, 2, this is my third.
Yeah.
But every time it was like an interesting situation. Like I bought the place right when we got divorced.
Yeah, you bought something right out the gate.
I did. Partly because I'm like a terrified, it's been like it drilled into my head as long as I've been alive about rent. Like how, and I don't even agree with it half the time, but I just was so scared that if I didn't buy something, I would end up renting forever. And then I met Maria. So we needed something bigger. So we moved to that one. And then we were going to renovate that one. And it was the pandemic and it was too hard to do. So same area, just bought something else instead. Yeah. So it's like every time there's been like a real reason. Mm-hmm. But this, I think, I can't imagine we'd ever leave.
But when you moved into that first place, didn't you feel like you were going to be there?
I did. Well, I guess too, like I don't count the apartment that we nested in.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But the first place, what's funny is like that first place that I moved, I remember thinking I loved it so much. Mm-hmm. I still drive by it every day almost because it's in my neighborhood. I loved it so much that I didn't care if I ever moved. I felt like I would stay there forever.
Yeah.
I loved it there. I still do. Like, I sometimes wonder if we'll like eventually full circle go back there.
That's interesting because like I kind of feel that way about the condo that I have in Midtown because I'm probably going to rent that out soon. I've been on the fence as to whether or not to sell it or rent it. And I think I'm going to rent it. And there's something in me that feels like I can't sell it because it's just like, that's the first thing I bought.
Yes.
Out of my divorce. And it felt like such an accomplishment.
Yep.
And it has felt like my little safe haven.
I agree.
You know? Like my constant spot.
Totally. I'm totally in agreement. I mean, I don't think I can't imagine what would happen to make me sell the townhome.
Yeah.
Like that place is so meaningful to me. I literally yesterday drove by and I had Reed and a buddy in the car and I'm like, do you two remember that this place? And even his little friend, like it was years ago. I mean, he was just like, I do.
Yeah.
And now Marina is getting a place right next door.
Right. That's right.
Like, what are the odds of that?
I know.
Who would have thought when you were coming to visit me right after divorce that right next door to me would be who you're with?
Right. It is pretty bizarre.
It's bizarre. I mean, of all the places she could go.
I know.
You know? Yeah.
It's very full circle.
It is. Yeah. So, there's a lot of moving.
She and I are, both building new places right now. And everybody keeps asking for moving in. We are not moving in.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's kind of like, you know, where when you're in your 20s and everybody's like, when are you getting married?
Yeah.
When are you going to do this? And it's like, I feel like, you know, we've been together for coming up on 10 months and it's like people want to know, like, when are you moving in?
Yeah.
But I feel like we're just kind of like in this spot where it's like, we know this is it going somewhere, you know, but like, let's just chill.
I think that's so smart.
And it's important to her too, to have her own space for a little bit after coming out of like a long relationship.
Yeah.
And I think it's like the healthy thing to do.
It is.
As eager as I am to have us all in one place, it's also like, just chill and enjoy like the meantime, you know?
And there is something to like, the act of like setting up your own space and knowing that you're paying this mortgage and the lights have to be on and like she has you, but she'll also have this. There's something you gain in that moment. Yeah. I think.
Well, and it's empowering too to think when I moved into that rental house, I'd never, not since college, you know, called up and set up my water and like trash and all that stuff. Like, it's been such a learning experience.
Totally.
Where I don't know about you, but I feel like you were the same way. Like all your finances were kind of handled by your husband.
I had no idea what I was doing.
And like now I'm doing it all. And I just got a financial advisor too.
Nice. Oh my God, that's exciting.
So I don't know. It's just kind of all the stuff that I thought I couldn't handle, I can.
Right. I think that's really, really cool. And there is such a good feeling to like getting your brain organized around like the financial planner thing. To me, that helped me sleep better.
Yeah.
It's like someone to just say, here's what we're doing. Here's what we're not doing. there's just comfort in that.
Yeah.
You know, we've often talked about having someone on the show like
I know.
that.
I was just thinking that. Like, maybe we should put out feelers. If you're a financial planner and you want to come on and like share some advice for people coming out of divorce, and
definitely
getting started again, like we would love to have someone on that's like
we would love that. And I love mine. Like, she's very down to earth. Like, at the beginning, I remember saying to her, like, I'm really embarrassed. Like, how do I, like, here's what I have. Like, here's what's happening. And she's like, are you kidding me? Like, I've seen it all. Like, let me see. And she was so positive about everything. I mean, just even like smart tax things that she advised me on that were like game changers of how you do things. It was just like, no one's ever told me that.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's just it. Like, most people are not educated on those little financial ins and outs.
Yeah.
And it's something that's kind of come to the forefront for me because of a marketing company that I've been working for.
Right.
Like, I literally interview financial advisors and write videos for them.
Oh, that's cool. So that's how you picked one.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not how I picked one. Actually, it's really bizarre how I picked this guy.
Okay.
I Googled financial advisors in Peachtree City.
Okay.
And it comes up, one of the websites that come up, I'm looking at it, and the woman that owns it is a woman that I've known since I was literally in preschool.
Oh my God. So you can trust.
Like, we went to preschool, elementary, middle, and high school. And I reached out and like, she immediately like saw my name and was like, oh my God, like, I know her.
Yeah.
And so we chatted a little bit, and then I went with a different advisor, but at her firm.
That's awesome.
So it's just kind of crazy how the universe sets things up like that.
Totally. I think that's so awesome. Even just having someone who you can like talk about your goals with, of, you know, like for me, it was, I needed to know to sleep at night, like how I'm doing the college tuition. And like, I don't want to be worried about it. Like, how am I doing next year? How am I doing? And it was just like, she organized my stuff in a way that's like, I can sleep at night.
Yeah. Well, and there's so much uncertainty like going into this about like, how are things going to look? How am I going to pay for shit?
Right. And your finances change. Like, I'm not what I was then.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think things too, you know, you grow, whether you start a company or you're, you know, working for someone else, you don't look the same 5 years later.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so
and that's just it. Yeah. Like, I still, you know, have my old job, but then I've started working for this other company too. Yeah. So basically doing 2 different freelance positions.
Right.
And things look different than they did a few years ago.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, to finally sit down with a financial advisor and be like, okay, like, am I going to be okay?
Yeah.
Like,
you sleep better.
Yeah. And actually, now that I think about it, when I was coming out, I met with a financial advisor first, like, like before I even divorced, and was like, this is what things look like.
Right.
And what I think my expenses are going to be. And she was able to like go through it and be like, yeah, like, you're good, you know, like, and she's like, I would tell you if you weren't.
Yeah. That you're good.
And she didn't charge me for that either.
Right.
Amazingly.
Yeah.
So maybe just reach out to a financial advisor and ask them to just give you a quick review. Cause I mean, they want your business ultimately.
Yeah.
Not to use someone, but
no. And sometimes though, they end up like mine, I feel like has saved me.
Yeah.
In the end, like she's more than, to me, it's like she finds so many cool ways to do things that, especially with like my job, because I'm self-employed, and yours as a contractor, there are a lot of different ways to do it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you don't want to just not have the good advice, because you end up you might pay more than you should in one way that you could have like saved in another way.
Right.
You know? So I think that's really good advice. We'll get someone on here.
Yeah, I definitely want to get someone on. So if you're listening and you're a financial advisor,
we love gay financial advisors.
A gay financial advisor.
It's true.
Even a dude, I don't know.
Like, oh man, really?
I mean, a lot of financial advisors are men.
That's a buzzkill.
Don't want. I mean, I'm literally like, majority of the ones that I interview are men.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking for a woman.
But I mean, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's put it out there in the universe.
In the universe. Come on, guys. Bring us a female financial mind
that can help through divorce.
Exactly. Well, I think we've covered a lot.
I think so.
All right.
For an episode where we didn't know what we were going to talk about.
I know. And now you're off jet setting to Croatia.
I am. For 10 days.
Damn. Did you tell your mom? I know she's going to be very upset.
I did tell my mom. I just kind of slid it in there. Because I didn't tell her I was going to Belize either.
Oh, God.
Until like about a week before.
My mom loves to say, you never told us. Right? You didn't tell Dad and I.
Yeah, I get that all the
and you're
time.
like, no, I didn't.
But I really didn't this time. But she's okay with it.
Yeah.
But it is kind of sad. Like my kids, I'm prepping them for that, and it'll be the longest that I've ever been away from them.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really hard. On top of that, I don't know about like Wi-Fi, like if I'm going to be able to FaceTime them, like all that stuff. So,
yeah.
And they just don't, they're not very talkative when we get on the phone.
Yeah.
You know, it's usually like 5 minutes.
That's okay.
And I don't pressure them like sit here and talk to me.
Right.
You know, I just check in.
I think it's a gift, like for them to see their mother having kids want their moms happy.
Yeah.
Like to go and do that for yourself is such a gift to them because they're seeing you go have a nice time.
Yeah.
And
do
like,
cool shit.
Yeah. I don't want my kids to ever think my entire life is built around them because it's too much pressure anyway.
It is a lot of pressure. And my mom to this day will bring that up to me that she never went anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, it feels like it's somehow my fault.
I know.
And I'm like, I didn't tell you not to go anywhere. And I mean, she never really even got us a babysitter that often.
Yeah.
Like that was
you know, mine
rare.
were leaving. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I had the jet setters.
But did it like affect you?
No, in fact, like now, I mean, I think I said on a couple podcasts ago, I mean, we found these old postcards where they were literally sending us postcards from these places. But I think I honestly have a peace in my heart of like my parents are very happy together. So I don't have the pressure of like my mom is sad or my dad is sad. That is the primary relationship. Mm-hmm. They love each other to death. They're extremely social. They want to be together all the time. My parents have one cell phone.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. So I never felt that way. If anything, I felt like I was sad for my friends' parents who fought or like got divorced. I felt a sadness around like, oh wow, I hope that could never happen to me. But I don't feel anything. I don't feel that. I feel things about my mother's drinking.
Yeah.
But nothing about being left.
Mm-hmm. And I think my parents have had to kind of go over that hurdle of like what it's been like to not have kids in the house.
Yeah. Would you say your parents are happily married?
They love each other very much.
Yeah.
And I would say, yes, I would say they're happily married. They're not like super affectionate and like googly eyed over each other. But
would they plan? I always look at like, I think when people travel together, that's when you know they really like love to be together because it's such a personal thing. Like to go on a trip with someone is like I love to travel with Maria. Do they choose to do that?
No. Well, I mean, they can't really financially and like health wise anyway.
Got it.
But
well, that's different.
But even if they could, I don't think that they would. Like my mom traveled a lot in her 20s.
Yeah.
Like literally went all over the world. And my dad, he didn't so much travel, but he was technically in the Vietnam War, but went to Korea.
Okay.
Basically won the lottery for being sent.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Drafted in the Vietnam War. Because he saw no combat whatsoever.
Okay.
My mom always jokes. She's like, you just went to Korea and folded shirts.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
But I mean, they've spent time elsewhere in the world, but they're just not big into that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of just it as a kid. Like I didn't travel. We went to Florida every year.
Right.
And that was that.
Yeah.
You know? And so now I guess I want to have all these experiences that I didn't get to have.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like you said, like show my kids that like there's all this shit to do.
Yeah. And that you want them to go out and find a partner who like takes them on adventures.
And I guess that is another point of when I was going through my divorce, I remember thinking like, oh my God, like I'm leaving this pilot husband.
Yeah, yes.
And like, what if I don't get to travel anymore like I used to?
And now you travel even more.
Yeah. Like, and to have found someone, and that's been like top of the list of who I wanted to find was someone who was adventurous and wanted to travel and like not just travel and like go sit on a beach and drink all day, but like travel and like do shit.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, I mean more than mission accomplished. When we went on this excursion in Belize, we did a hike up to a waterfall. This was a tough hike.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't like just go hike up Stone Mountain.
Yeah,
it was literally like
I'm out of
climb
breath.
over tree roots.
Yeah.
You know, go down these narrow paths where it was like literally straight down.
Oh my God.
And they were basically like, if you fall down there, like we can't get you.
Yeah.
So, and she's right at the head of the pack, you know? So
you got what you wanted.
I got what I wanted. And
Yeah.
like, it's, even though you think these things are out of your grasp, that maybe they are for that time, but it doesn't mean that they don't come back to you.
It's so true. You manifest it and you just keep going until you find it. You didn't have that at first.
Yeah.
It's like you just have to keep at it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really true. I think it's true in career too, because I think a lot of people get stuck. They've been stay-at-home moms like I was, and they just are scared to go after what they really want. And I think it's like if you get quiet, you can make something happen.
And start small.
Totally. Dive in. What do you enjoy doing? Mm-hmm. You know, and get clear. And I just think that you can pivot and try different things and find success doing what you love. When you're rewriting your life anyway, you might as well, you know, rewrite your job.
The whole thing.
Like,
throw the whole life out.
Exactly. Start over.
I mean, maybe keep the kids.
Yeah, definitely keep the kids.
I like mine, so I'll keep them.
I'm keeping mine too. All right, my friends.
All right, well, we will be back, I guess, when I'm back from Croatia.
I can't wait to hear about it.
Yay.
Bye.
Want to support the Lesbian Chronicles podcast? Rate us and write a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify.
We love listener feedback. If you'd like to share your story, email us at melissaandalli@gmail.com. That's Melissa, MELISA, and Alli, ALLI, @gmail.com. Or follow us on Instagram at Lesbian Chronicles.